I'm Brad Rosley. Thanks for tuning in again today. Very excited today to talk about an ageless gift. Right now I'm in the Christmas season and I was thinking about the 12 days of Christmas. And to try and coordinate with that, I'm going to share with you the 12 reasons that I am contributing to my 529 college savings accounts, even though my kids have graduated school, 2 of the 3 have, and the other one's fully funded. So let me give you 12 great reasons why I am, and you should consider, if you can afford to, doing as I am. The first reason, as I mentioned, I could afford to do it. So that all starts with doing a financial plan and looking at different scenarios to say, hey, listen, with the money I've saved currently, with the money that I'm going to be saving in the future, with the assumptions of growth and returns and what I might need to be financially independent, I feel very confident that I'm well on my way and I can afford to take some extra savings and put it someplace else. If I keep saving in my retirement accounts, I'm going to end up with more money than I care to have or need to have or want to have. I just assume give it to my kids or grandkids. So that's number one. Number two is I'm obviously hopeful that I'm able to help my grandkids if I were to have any, which I don't even know. My 3 kids don't even have a boyfriend or girlfriend right now. They're just out of college, one's still in college. I'm just assuming that one day I'm going to have at least a few grandchildren, but who knows? So what a great gift to give, because if I do it now before they're even dating or engaged or let alone actually have children, that money's going to have many, many, many more years to grow. So that's why I would start now. Reason number 3, while living in the state of Illinois, you can give up to $20,000 a year per kid and take that $20,000 and use it as a state income tax write-off. So therefore, if I were to give $20,000 to my 529 plans, and I'm using the same ones I had set up for my kids years ago, that I save 4.95%, which is the current state income tax rate, which is $990 on my state income tax. Well, that's not bad. Rather than giving it to them outright, I get the tax savings. Number 4 is I can invest the money into a portfolio of investments. I'll use the Illinois Bright Directions 529 plan because I'm a resident and get the state tax write-off. Depending on what state you live on, you should check with them to see if you get a write-off in your state. 5th reason is it can be used also for K through 12 private schools or in-state or out-of-state colleges, okay? And the college need is great first and foremost, okay? That's the main reason for doing this. College is already quite expensive for most people, no matter where you go, and the price just seems to go up and up and up. So the idea of having some money set aside for them that literally, if they get married in 5 years and have a kid a couple years after that, by the time their kid's in college age, it's 18 years after that, that's 25 years of growth. That's an unbelievable potential amount of growth they could have in these college funds. Reason number 6, when the money comes out and it's used for college, that includes things like room and board and tuition and other things, no tax. I love not paying tax. So the idea of high growth and tax deferral and then no tax when it comes out, well, to me, those are win-win-win, big winners. You can also use, number 7, you can also use the money for K through 12 school. And I know that I wish I had more money, especially if my kids were younger today, because I would not send them to public schools with what's being taught today. I'm not for what's going on. I've seen the summer reading list in some of these programs, and I don't believe they should be teaching this stuff in school. And you can't really help it if you stay in the public schools in some areas. So I'd love to have the flexibility of giving my kids some money they could use, if they wanted to send their kids off to private schools. I would have had a tough time saving for college for my kids if I was also paying for their private school K through 12 as well. Really would have been tough. If I was bringing them up today, I would have done everything I can to do both at the sacrifice of my own retirement savings, just because their education is so important and I don't like what's being taught in some of the public schools today. When you take it out for K through 12, the way the law currently reads, it is federally taxable, but state tax free. So in Illinois, you don't pay the state income tax. The owner on the account would still have to pay the income tax on the growth of the money. The income tax on the growth of the money that they took out of the plan to pay for K through 12 school. Number 8, I'm rolling down the list here. I'm the owner of the accounts, okay, even though my beneficiaries are my grandkids, which means I have total control. I can make my wife or my children the successor owner. If something were to happen to me and I died, and they're still around, they can become the owners and the successor owners on the account. So I like that flexibility. It's obviously very nice. Not likely on number 9. Reason number 9, I love this as a Christmas gift, although it's a gift really for any time, is even though this money's not likely to be needed by me because I've run the scenarios, simulations to look at my own retirement, and I'm not likely to need this money. Should I need the money, because I do own the accounts at this point, I could take it back and spend it any way I wanted to. Now, if I do that, there's some consequences. Number 1, while the money's in the plan, it grows tax deferred, just like an IRA or retirement account. But if I use the money down the road and don't use it for qualified education expenses, I have to pay a 10% penalty on the growth and ordinary income tax on the growth of the money. So there are significant tax consequences, but hey, if I need the money, I need the money. So nevertheless, I like having that as a backstop, I guess. So it's not the end of the world. If you put money in that plan, you can get it back if you need to. All the principal you get back without tax or penalty. Reason number 10 is the flexibility between kids. As I mentioned earlier, I've got 3 children. I don't know who's going to have grandkids and who's not. I don't know how many they're going to have. But I have all the flexibility in the world to change the beneficiaries. So I could choose to equal it out between children, or I could choose to equal it out between grandchildren by simply changing the beneficiaries on the account. And I can move money very easily. So it's very flexible that way. Since I don't know how things are going to play out, it's really nice to have that kind of flexibility. Reason number 11. If I decide to allow my adult children to become the owners of the accounts, which I think I'm very likely to do, that pulls that money out of my current estate. It's a gift to the kids. The value of those accounts is a gift to the kids. I would use up my annual gift exemption amount, and then I would use up a portion of my what's called unified credit, so I wouldn't owe any gift tax on the money under current law. And then the real big benefit is all the future growth of that money is no longer a part of my estate should I die before my kids, or more likely my grandkids, ever use that money. So that's a really nice little perk for people that have significant estates and they want to minimize their estate taxes, to move money out of their estate that they're never going to need, because that moves the growth of that money in that portfolio out of their estate. So it's a really good tax planning move. And lastly, reason number 12, which is really the one that caught my eye first and foremost, was a recent FAFSA rule change that using the money from a grandparent's owned 529 plan no longer counts against the student's loan application. So in the past, I should say now, the new changes with the FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, means that the students will not be required to report any cash support they receive, including the grandparent-owned 529 accounts in the future. So grandparent 529 accounts won't count at all against the children or grandchildren, in this case, getting student aid. So it's a huge benefit. So those are the 12 reasons I love the idea of funding my future college grandchildren's college program, right now, here today, with money I can afford to give. Now, everybody's got different affordability. It doesn't matter where you start. You can do it $25 a month, one time, etc. It's very affordable. I hope you'll give my channel a like. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. I do a great job, I think, of replying to those. And I hope you subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, because there's a lot of good tax information and financial planning information. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a great day.